Welcome everybody to TRE-411. It's brought to you by District A Media. I'm your host Kedrick, and TRE-411 is District A's local news. See, it's issues in our district and our community, they rarely go mainstream. So as a result, District A residents are systematically marginalized and politically disenfranchised. And to rectify this discrimination, we have took it upon ourselves to report social, economic, and political issues that are relevant in our community. In our opinion, Winston Salem Journal, WXII, and even the Chronicle, they don't represent us. They don't represent District A. So this episode, we want to draw your attention to Ashley Academy and address the issues that's going on currently. Now, Tuesday, April 24th, 2018, Mid-Atlantic Associates. This is a Raleigh-based engineering and environmental consulting firm. Released a report, an indoor air quality report for Ashley Academy. The report concluded that there is mold growth present in the ventilation and air conditioning units. Now I want to take you back to February of this year, 2018, where the teachers came out and said that they were getting sick from the air quality and petition the school board. Now I want to draw to you an article in the Winston Salem Journal, and I quote, "More than 20 teachers at Ashley claim that they have gotten sick because of the condition of the school building. Teachers have had persistent sinus infections, itchy eyes, and other symptoms, which they have chalked up to mold and other problems in the building." Now, surprisingly, this mold situation isn't new. Now, before I go on, let me show you what I'm going to do to really prove a point, right? I'm going to take how Ashley is playing out presently and list it numerically down from 1 to 11 in steps. Now, I'm going to do the same on this side for a similar situation that happened in February 2015 with Haynes Lawrence. Okay? So we're making a compare and contrast of how the school board handled both situations, or how they handling, in Ashley's case, their situation. Okay? So let's go through the timeline. All right. Now back in August, you gotta go on the time machine with me, and we're taking it back to August 2017, right? Teachers petitioned the school board about the air quality and the mold situation. So we're gonna write out August 2017. Teachers petition school board, right? The school board, in response, contracts Trinity Environmental. This is an agency that comes in and tests air quality. So we're going to write out school board Trinity Environmental. Now, Trinity goes in, conducts the indoor air quality test, and reports to the school board that there's no threat to any of the mold or the air quality. It's no threat. It's perfectly safe. Right, so I'm gonna write that down. Some reports to the school board tells the school board, its results, right? And we said there was no threat. That's the report. So now, the school board, of course, goes back to the teachers. There's no threat. Step number 5. Now let's go back in the time machine. Fast forward. We're going from August 7th, 2017 to February 2018. Right? There was a second complaint of teachers, and as I read it from Winston Salem Journal article, that there were more than 20 teachers that came out and said that they were being sick. Okay? Now we back up to where we started. So we're gonna put, let's do Feb 18 and second complaint. Yeah, this is the teachers going to the school board for the second time, right? In this span of time that we've chosen to explain Ashley, right? So it's basically to the school board. Now, school board responds, say, yo, we call Trinity, environmental bat. So Trinity does a second test. Second test. Their results to the school board, safe. Alright? Now, Trinity, of course, reports that to the school board reports that to the teachers. Now at this point, the teachers are fed up because around this time, you got children, an increasing number of children being absent due to illness, and you still got teachers complaining that they're having headaches. And I also want to mention that the Winston Salem Journal filed a Freedom Act, Information Freedom Act, and retrieved emails from teachers and principals. And they said in the article that some of the emails were work orders, basically ordering textbooks and different supplies for the school. But there were emails from the principal that mold or the air quality, or just in general, they were feeling sick because of just being in the school. Okay? So we're on 6, right, to get back to where we start, to get back to where we finished off. Trinity on the second test said it was safe, right? There wasn't no problem. The school board then tells the teachers, and the teachers are upset. So the teachers say, we demand a third test, and we also want another outside agency to come in and conduct the test, right? So we say, teachers demand third test, right? That's 7, right? 8, okay. 8, we got the school board. So you know what? we'll give y'all what y'all want. We'll take Mid-Atlantic Associates, have them come in and conduct the indoor air quality test, right? So remember, Mid-Atlantic Associates, we back where we started. Okay? So the school board contracts Mid-Atlantic. Mid-Atlantic goes in, do a report, right? Or do a test and come back with the report. Mid-Atlantic gives the report to the school board, right? The report says, and I don't want to miss a word in this. It's coming from your Winston Salem journal. Just give me a moment to pull this up. I want to get this right. So, it says, the 50-page report from Mid-Atlantic Associates found that the school as a whole was well maintained and clean, but some issues were found in air conditioning units in 3 wings of the school. The report notes moisture problems in the 100, 160, and 170 wings of the building, where there was evidence of, and I quote, this is put in quotes in the article, extensive, visible mold growth. So, report, extensive mold growth. Extensive visible mold growth. We come to step 11. This is where the school board decides to finish out the school year and replace the HVAC or HVAC units during the summer. So school board's decision, finish out school year, replace HVAC units during the summer. All right. Now we want to link this Ashley Academy situation to what happened in February 2015 with Haynes and Reigns. And you can do it very easily by just looking, remembering what I told you about Mid-Atlantic Associates. Okay? So remember, this is a link to Haynes. Now Haynes started out totally different. It's basically, it started out as a suspicion from the school board because of prior knowledge of a leak of chemicals in the ground. Now, we're gonna get all into that when we go in there, but first, let's get into number 1. It says we got school board. Let's say school board assumes like this: contamination. Assumes that there are chemicals outdoor and indoor as far as the air quality, chemicals that are contaminating the environment, right? So 2, we have that the school board contacts off this assumption, right, that the environment and the ground, right, groundwater underneath the school was contaminated by a certain chemical from a leak, they contact Mid-Atlantic Associates, right? So school board That's the link that Haynes February 2015 incident links in what we got going on now with Ashley Academy, this agency here. But you realize the position in the listing and how we highlight the events of the timeline. You see where they come up on each side. So we're gonna talk about that. But school board contracts, I say contacts, Mid-Atlantic Associates, right? Now, Mid-Atlantic goes in and conducts an outdoor air quality and indoor air quality and soil vapor test, right? So we're gonna just put Mid-Atlantic and going to say they concluded from the results that there was a high concentration of PCE in the outdoor air quality test, but not harmful or puts anyone in danger. They test inside for inside air quality. They said there was low concentration and it was normal, right? And then the soil vapor, there was low concentration. They even described it in the article as being below screening limit, right? So they couldn't even pick it up, right? So Mid-Atlantic, we're gonna put Mid-Atlantic, no threat. That's when they went back to the school board with. So the school board was like, okay, we understand y'all, but we want the report to put in layman terms, right? So the school board contacts a man named Lenny Siegel. Lenny Siegel is the executive director of public oversight. Now, public oversight, what they do is they take, toxicity tests that companies like Mid-Atlantic and Trinity make, and they break it down and put it in layman terms for, people that are not scientists like us. So the school board says, well, we wanna contract Lenny Siegel in his agency. So we're gonna put school board, I'm gonna say Lenny Siegel. And he of course, like I said, is the executive director of public oversights. Now, Lenny Siegel reports to the school board, right? And he also, like I said, he's a guy that trying to break this business is to break down the report. The school board even brought the parents involved into the process and asked Lenny to explain the report to the parents. Okay, so let's put that down. Let's say Lenny yes, right? Meets with the school board, breaks the report down to the school board. The report that Mid-Atlantic had already said that it was no threat, but they still needed interpreted through Lenny, right? All this money that's being funded to prove that Mid-Atlantic said it was true. Because Lenny told them, this board and the parents, there was no concern. There was no threat. You thought you had a problem, and it's not there. Okay? Everything's fine, right? The next day, right? The school board in a 7-2 vote, they voted to close the school. Okay? Now, on a side note, I also want to add that the cause of the exposure to the PCE and the TCE, when I told you that there was assumption based off of something that they already knew, that maybe 10 years ago they were saying that there was a leak of PCE and TCE into the ground from a company by the name of Caba Ilco Corp. Caba Ilco Corp. If you're going down Indiana, you're coming from Liberty, it's gonna be on your right. If you coming from the Patterson going down Indiana, it's gonna be on your left. Okay? And it's right across the street from Haynes Lorenz. Okay? This company spilled chemicals and leaked chemicals into the ground, and that's what the school board knew, and that's what the school board tested for. Right? Now, we want to draw your attention to the location of Haynes Lorenz. Haynes Lorenz sits basically in the middle of a neighborhood, predominantly black. Now, why not test for contamination in the surrounding residential areas if you go to this extent for Haynes Lorenz? We still talking about mothers, fathers, children, sons and daughters that live in the surrounding neighborhoods, whether they go to school or not, okay? Now, we also want to point out, going back to Ashley, that in 2015, a bond that was proposed and accepted, it was a little bit over $500 million. Its priority, where the money was going to go, was to the improvements of Ashley, and until then, working to purchase land and building a new school. In 2016, that bond was reduced to $325 million. This is roughly. And Ashley's improvements and the plan for Ashley New School was taken out the bond completely. Okay? So I want to mention that. And to make this real, because I want to use as much fact as I can. This is coming from the North Carolina school report cards. I mean, you can pull it up on your phone like I'm doing right now. It's Ashley Academy, right? They got different grades on here. We're familiar with the grade system. 2016-2017 overall performance grade history. 2016-2017 grade was an F, and that's for Ashley Academy. The performance grade score 22. Now academic growth, they got a chart up here basically saying that the growth rate is measured from 50 to 69, and you don't need to go no further because Ashley comes in at 53.2, and if you between that 50 and 69 range, your growth status is not met. And I think these metrics are all based on probably the No Child Left Behind, and also you also want to mention that Obama passed his ESSA Every student shall succeed. Same thing. Okay? Now, this is the most important fact I think that out of this shapes what this is really about. 84.2% statistics, man, of students at Ashley are considered economically disadvantaged. I'm gonna give you the state average statistic, right? The students across the state are economically advantaged 49.2. 49.2, man. Ashley's 84.2. Okay? So that's what we're dealing with right now when we talk about looking at the comparisons. Now, let's really break this down and look at it from each step, okay? So, let's see how it started. August 17th, we have teachers address the school board. But in the Haynes situation back in 2015, the school board makes the assumption. So who initiate the problem is where it differs here. The teachers actually have to go petition the school board. Now, step 2, we have the school board in Trinity, right? Well, Trinity never shows up in the Haynes case. Trinity actually does 2 tests in Ashley, and both said it was safe. We don't get to a positive test of extensive mold growth until we get to Mid-Atlantic Associates, in which Haynes starts out. See, the school board contacts Mid-Atlantic Associates immediately. They don't even talk to Trinity about the situation. It's another thing to look at, right? Now, the school board goes further, and especially when they go from 4 to 5. Because 4 to 5 here is very important, right? It's very important because we see that Lenny Siegel, like I said, was the executive director of public oversight, right? And their business is to take a report from companies like Mid-Atlantic and Trinity and break them down into layman terms. So we got the school board giving Lenny Siegel, right, give him the ability to speak to the school board and speak to the parents to break the report down from the Mid-Atlantic. And we go back and say the Mid-Atlantic said there was no threat. But the school board still invested money into this guy to explain to both the parents. They brought the parents involved. They got the parents involved, right? This is the school board at its best, right? But here, we don't even see parent involvement brought in by the school board when they know from 2015 that Ashley needed a new school and that Ashley needed improvements immediately until they were able to purchase land, do whatever to build a school from the ground up. Okay? Now, we want to just right now look at the length of Haynes' process and how they came with a decision on the next day, right after they got the report from Lenny Siegel. And we are still dealing with this right to this day at step 11. Listen, if you want to be involved, if you want to help these children, help these teachers at Ashley Academy, click the link, and sign the petition. Listen, we got a little bit over 500. We need 2,500 to get this thing moving. So something simple as that could change the game. change the game for these children, change the game for these teachers. That's what we do it for. All right. Now, last order of business, I would like to give a shout out to Action for Ashley, right? It's a coalition, it's a group of organizations that's really riding for Ashley and want to see a new building. Not another bond, not another brick. Those are hashtags that we follow. Action, it's Action for Ashley. It includes organizations like Action for Now, NAACP, the Minister Conference, Drum Majors Alliance, and Parent Action Network. Actually, they just got on the on the coalition because that's what the school board said, that we didn't have parent involvement, right? But we see how the school board handled this problem. They brought the parents in on an assumption, but they're telling us that we're fighting for nothing, because if the parents are not involved, then it's no use. All right. So we do this for the children. We do this for the teachers. TRE-411.